So in this video, we will be looking at the differences between what a data analyst does, what a data scientist does, and how you can, or maybe at least help you to choose a career path. So with that, first let's take a look at the job responsibilities. Okay, let's take a look at the job responsibilities here. For a data analyst is someone who works with the business to understand and collect the data. Whereas a data scientist, on the other hand, they do a lot more with technical tools. They do like data mining using APIs and build the ETL pipelines. And a data analyst uses existing data to help make business decisions. Whereas a data scientist, on the other hand, they do a lot of data cleaning using programming languages like R or Python. And a data analyst creates dashboards and reports for the stakeholders, whereas a data scientist creates automation techniques to simplify the processes. This is just a high level responsibility differences, but let's quickly take an example in a real world scenario. For example, like if Amazon business stakeholders go to a data analyst and they ask, hey, here is what our last year Thanksgiving sales were. This is the data that we have. Can you analyze, how much sales are we going to have this year? For this year during Thanksgiving. This could be one instance where a data analyst would come into picture. So the business stakeholder would go to a data analyst and get this information so that they can take a better decision this year and push products that are relevant during Thanksgiving rather than products that didn't do well but still were on the site. So like if you see the recommendation engine of Amazon, that's another good example where what kind of products to recommend, those basic analysis of what product did well last year, what product versus what products did well this year. So these are some of the examples for a data analyst and how he or she can use his or her analysis skills to produce evidence to the stakeholders. So that's what a data analyst would do. Whereas data scientists, on the other hand, they're actually building and working on those recommendation algorithms. So that's the reason data scientists, on the other hand, have more expertise in programming. So they are much more well versed with all cloud computing solutions. They're much more well versed with Python. So that's basically what a data scientist would do. I hope the differences between the job responsibilities are clear. But again, there are many crossovers between these two roles. Sometimes they call a data scientist, but they're actually doing more of an analysis kind of work. Whereas they'd say they hire as a data analyst, but then you would be expected to know more than a regular data analyst. So I hope that's clear. But usually a data analyst and data scientist, this is the basic difference. Now let's look at what kind of background you need in order for you to become a data analyst and data scientist. So while anyone can literally become a data professional, someone with a bachelor's degree or higher can become a data analyst from any field. If it could be anything, civil, mechanical. I've seen like people from medicine dentists trying to move into the field of data science. So anyone literally can become a data professional. So here for a data analyst, it's usually a bachelor's degree or higher. Master's degree is required in some roles, but again, it could be more of a data science catered role. So there are no restrictions when it comes to the degrees that you need to have, but you would need at least a minimum of mathematics background for you to have for you to at least understand a little bit of statistics for a data analyst role. But again, if you've not watched my Is Math Required to Become a Data Professional video, I will link it here. You can watch it. And yeah, and for a data scientist here, you need at least bachelor's is usually the minimum requirement, and master's obviously is preferred for a data scientist, and having a computer science or mathematics or a data science background is a plus. But however, it's not a mandatory thing. So anyone with degree in computer science, mathematics, financial, electrical can become a data scientist. Now that you understand the background, the educational background, we'll jump into the skills. So skills, as I mentioned earlier, a data analyst who will be analyzing more. So you'll be doing analysis, you will be doing a little bit of predictions, like for the example that I will mention, Amazon, what kind of products would sell better in this year. So you would analyze or do some sort of predictions, and that for the tools that's required for that is SQL, any data visualization tool like Tableau or Power BI, SPSS, SAS, Excel is a compulsory thing for any data professional, and Python or R. Again, this is basic packages. If you know predictive side of it, great. It will be a good thing for you to have. Whereas a data scientist, on the other hand, they are someone who you need because you're building those. For the example that I gave, Amazon, you need to understand the crux, the basic fundamentals of the algorithms, and that comes with strong foundation of calculus, linear algebra, statistics, and probability. So you need to know that really well. And again, good programming skills is a foundation for a data scientist. So having a good programming skills is very important. And again, problem solving skills. As a data scientist and even a data analyst, you need to have patience, and you need to have that problem solving curiosity. What do I mean by that is, like, so for those who are completely from a non-technical background, so problem solving requires, like, once you start learning programming, you would find it really hard in the initial phases. But once you get over that stage and you're comfortable with it, you will appreciate programming more. But programming, it takes a lot more patience, because you run into errors, you run into different problems, and that kind of needs a different kind of skill, and that's the problem solving skill, and patience and curiosity to see what went wrong. So that is a skill that every probably data professional should need. So if you are someone who is like, yes, you know what, I agree with you, I can completely relate, I am such a person, and I think this is a perfect match for me, then I think you should take up data analytics or data science. And then with that, a data scientist would also need machine learning concepts, obviously. And there's another, like, a higher level of data science is deep learning and computer vision. All these are different roles of it. But for this video, I'm just going to stop here with machine learning and cloud computing. So for salaries for a data analyst versus a data scientist, here you can see there's a lot of difference, because data analysts, again, they are someone who needs a little bit of analysis, a little bit of programming, and a little bit of business knowledge. So whereas a data scientist is someone who probably, I would say, like 60 to 70% heavy of programming skills, whereas a data analyst, I would say 40% it's programming skills, then 30% would be the business knowledge, and the remaining is like all like, team building, communication, those kind of skills. Whereas a data scientist is heavy, 70% you need programming, and the remaining 30% would be more on the business and the business understanding and problem solving, those kind of skills. So that's how I would rate these two job roles. So that's the reason why you see the differences between the salaries. So for a data analyst, for an entry level, it's around 45k to 60k, whereas a mid level is 60 to 85, and senior level is 85 to 110k. Whereas a data scientist, entry level itself starts from 50 to 120k, and mid level to 120 to 170k, and senior level starts from 170 to 350k. There are like roles in different companies, and also differs from state to state. So and these numbers are solely in the USA. Now, coming to the most important question, how do you choose? Like, how do you consider data analytics or data science? So, the way I would choose my career, if I were to like choose right now, I would probably consider my background. What do I mean by that? So, data scientist, I would look at both the roles, data scientist and data analyst, and see which. So my background is I come from a non-technical background. I had done my MBA. Probably if I was in an MBA role, probably doing some management stuff today, the way I would choose my career if I wanted to move into data, I would first see what are the transferable skills that I have. Obviously, in management roles, you would have good team building, communication skills, networking skills. Those are some transferable skills that I would identify. And then based on that, I would see what is much more tangible. Probably it would be easier for me to right now in my, if I was in an MBA background, I would keep that as my subject matter expertise, and maybe start adding on SQL skills, and start learning SQL skills, start learning data visualization skills. So these two skills would up me for a data analyst position. And then if I'm really passionate about getting into data science, probably apply for a data analytics role and then move into data science. So that is the steps that I would take. It would be different for different people and different backgrounds, and again, it also depends on how much time you are willing to spend to get to that role. So once I consider the background and I consider my interests, and then I consider the path that I want to take. So if my ultimate goal is to become a data scientist, then I would definitely start working one tool at a time to get to become a data scientist. So I hope this video helped you decide which one to choose. I know it's very confusing in the initial phases on which path to choose, to either go to data science or data analytics, but I would always suggest that you start small with small little steps that you can take, and then work towards the bigger goal that you have. And I hope this video helped you, and don't forget to share it with your friends or anyone who wants to actually move into data and are trying to figure this whole big world of data out. And I will see you all in my next video.